Now on CoastTV News.
Tariff watch.
There could be some sticker shock on some things.
Your next cocktail could cost you more.
Language barrier.
My primary concern was that for the newcomers, the recent immigrants.
A teacher says English as a second language students aren't getting the support they're guaranteed by law.
Parking brake.
A dog-eat-dog world up there.
Fenwick businesses could soon pay less for employee parking.
This is CoastTV News at 6.
Taking bottles off of the shelf. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 6. We begin tonight with a tariff on alcohol. Wednesday, President Trump imposed new tariffs, and we're going to keep a close eye on their impact. Over the coming days, we'll be bringing you stories on the rising cost of everything that is going to be hit by these new charges. But tonight, we're focusing on alcohol.
Depending on your beverage of choice, that next trip to the liquor store, it's going to cost you more. President Trump announced a 20% tariff on goods from the European Union and an additional 34% tariff on Chinese imports. Coast TV News reporter Emma Aiken is live there in Rehoboth Beach. And Emma, you're at one bar that's being affected.
Maddie, here at 302 The Local, you often need a password to get into the speakeasy, but it's no secret that these tariffs could hurt their business. And the bar says a lot of that secret sauce that goes into your drink is imported from other countries. So whether it's a bar, a liquor store, or any other establishment that sells booze, the tariff effect is a new reality. Foreign liquors on the shelves. It's not a foreign concept for now, but keep an eye on those prices.
There could be some sticker shock on some things.
That's Atlantic Liquor's co-owner Dale Lomas. He says they're ready for the worst when it comes to new tariffs on alcohol.
Rehoboth Beach is the nation's summer capital. So if the capital is in turmoil, so is the nation's summer capital.
That means your favorite foreign wine, tequila, and beer is all going to cost you more.
I know that he had threatened French wine, enormous tariff on that. We sell a fair amount of French products, champagne, wine, so that would go up substantially.
And it's not just tariffs on the liquors itself that worries store owners like Lomas. It's the idea of tariffs on the materials too, like the aluminum that these beers come in. For Christopher Dash and Eric Furr with 302 The Local, roughly 70% of their liquor comes from other countries. They say they may have to pivot too.
So whether it's switching out one varietal for another to keep the costs low, we'll certainly do that. And if we have to take items off the menu as a result of tariffs, we'll do that as well.
So whether it's a menu shakeup or a price hike, one thing's for sure, the cost of your next cocktail might leave you shaken, not stirred. Both of the business owners we spoke with say one of the main issues is just how confusing this all can be, understanding when the tariffs are on, when the tariffs are off, from which countries, and the percentages of everything. Live in Rehoboth Beach, Emma Aiken, Coast TV News.
This brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, will tariffs or who will tariffs on alcohol hurt the most?
Let's take a look at the updated results from last news hour. Take a look at your screen. And so far, 72% say U.S. consumers, though 14% say European brands, 4% say bar owners, and 10% say everyone equally.
If you haven't voted yet, you can still do it. Go to CoastTV.com or use our Coast TV mobile app, and we'll show you updated results tonight on Coast TV News at 11.
And the tariffs don't stop at alcohol. New 25% tariffs on imported vehicles are now into effect, and the president ending exceptions for cheaper goods on mailing into the U.S., which could mean higher costs for fans of retailers like Shein and Temu.
We have new information on the dead whale that is still stuck in the Indian River Bay. According to Denrec, the whale weighs at least 18 tons. That's heavier than we had thought. MER is now working with NOAA and Denrec to figure out the next steps to remove the whale, which is stuck on a sandbar. Denrec saying, quote, "We understand how difficult it is to see this whale in this condition." And we will stay on this story. To stay up to date, check CoastTV.com.
A Mariner middle school teacher files a civil rights complaint alleging discrimination against English language learners and their parents. The teacher says when she started nearly 3 years ago, she noticed the school wasn't meeting civil rights standards. She says students sometimes receive ESL instruction during a 30-minute advisory period, but She alleges that's not equitable because there's no designated classroom or curriculum.
My primary concern was that for the newcomers, the recent immigrants, they didn't have a specific English class where they learn English language development. And that is part of Lau versus Nichols. That was a Supreme Court decision a little over 50 years ago.
In a statement to Coast TV News, Superintendent Bob Bolton said in part, quote, "The district denies all allegations of discrimination against MLL students based upon national origin and welcomes the OCR investigation into that complaint." We have this full story right now. It's pretty complicated and in-depth on CoastTV.com.
Now to Rehoboth Beach. The Sea Witch Festival every year draws thousands to the nation's summer capital for the parade and the events surrounding that whole weekend. But it also brings people who park overnight in anticipation of the popular weekend. Coast TV News reporter Brandon Ferguson is live in Rehoboth. Brandon, commissioners say Rehoboth Avenue is the main focus of concern.
Charlie, here on Rehoboth Avenue, cars line the road in anticipation every October for the Sea Witch Festival. But one problem Rehoboth Beach commissioners has is when cars stay parked overnight and hold their spots. On your screen now is footage from last year's Sea Witch Festival, and the Rehoboth Dewey Beach Chamber of Commerce runs the 3-day-long event on the avenue. Coast TV spoke with a frequent visitor of Rehoboth Beach who says parking overnight, it's just not fair.
It's hard enough to find parking spaces here on a regular day, or even sometimes look around during the week.
Commissioners will meet on Monday at the City Hall to discuss possible fixes when it comes to people parking overnight ahead of the Sea Witch Festival. And if they want anything to apply to this year's event, they must make a decision before October 24th, which is day one of Sea Witch. Live in Rehoboth Beach, Brandon Ferguson, Coast TV News.
Fenwick Island will begin charging for parking on May 15th. That's for the summer season. But instead of a price hike, how about this? As Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zapay shows us, the town considering a proposed decrease to help certain businesses.
Parking prices along the coast have increased over the past couple of years, but Fenwick Island might be decreasing their prices for certain businesses in town to help employees park closer to where they work. Something local Billy Williams thinks is a great idea, saying it's hard to find parking during the busy summer season.
For the most part, we can usually find a spot with our pass. But if we didn't have pass requirements, then it would be a dog-eat-dog world up there.
The Fenwick Island Business Committee has proposed to the council a reduced seasonal parking pass plan for businesses in town. As of right now, businesses pay $500 for seasonal pass that allows employees to park on side streets. The committee is proposing to cut that down to just $250, with businesses saying they could buy more to help employees park. According to the Fenwick Island mayor, if this proposal does get approved, then employees with these reduced seasonal passes can only park here during the times of 4 and 10 p.m. so that vacationers can park here during the day to go to the beach. The mayor also adds that if this is approved, that only a handful of these reduced parking passes will be handed out, and those passes would only be able to park on certain underutilized spots in town. Williams believes this will help employees get to work quicker while still allowing vacationers to use these spots to enjoy the beach.
I think that would be beneficial to both parties. I don't see it being a problem for the evening rush hour.
The council will discuss the proposed change this Friday. I'm Kevin Zapay, Fenwick Island, Coast TV News.
Parking talk does not end in Fenwick. Milton could double downtown parking. The lack of spots have been a struggle for local businesses. At April 7th meeting, officials will talk about waiver requests, including adding more parking behind the Milton Historical Society. Let's go ahead and take a live look outside now into Lewis, a beautiful view of the bay there. Our first alert chief meteorologist Paul Williams has a look at our forecast. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, Maddie. And we're looking at our Milford view as well. Cloud cover staying a bit on the thick side, and that helps us out because we really don't want to see much sunshine right now because we have a storm system headed in our direction. But we're at 77 degrees right now, so we have enough energy to support a storm pushing through anyway. But we don't need any help, right? We're looking for those scattered showers to show up late tonight. Now it's been delayed till about 10 o'clock, might even wait until midnight, and not everybody's going to get it. But here's the interesting plot twist. We actually need the rain. Although this is the latest on our drought situation that's just been initiated for today. They update it every Thursday. We are at abnormally dry conditions, but that's a lot better than being at moderate or even severe drought, which we have now avoided. Maddie, coming up, we're going to be talking about how the temperatures are going to go skyrocketing and dumping simultaneously.
Thank you, Paul, and we are just getting started this evening.
A Milford food drive amid federal cuts for nonprofit food deliveries, how you can help.
But first, work in recovery, how one group has provided support to those struggling with addiction. Up next, when we're back in just 60 seconds.
Imagine being at the lowest point in your life and having nowhere to go. In this week's Coastal Connections, Brendan Conroy shows us how one man has made it his mission to be the light in people's darkest moments.
Brianna Watkins is vacuuming. This house means a lot to her. It's a recovery home.
I had an addiction to crack cocaine for the longest time.
Brianna is one of the people helped by Christian Grace LLC. The Georgetown organization offers sober living and affordable supportive housing.
I called my mom and I said, look, I can't do this anymore. Like, I have nothing. I have no clothes. I have no vehicle. I have nothing. I don't even have a phone. Like, I was using somebody else's phone.
David Foreman, president of Christian Grace, says he was once an addict himself. He now dedicates his life to making sure others are provided the same help as he once had, including offering work when they need it.
We're giving people a great price because we don't have the crazy overhead. I'm keeping my people working a little bit, and so they're getting paid a fair wage, and whatever's left over defrays the costs of the extra energy and other things that are going on here.
Christian Grace has 4 homes, all in the Georgetown area. One even has a Zen garden. One special thing David told me about helping people in recovery is that whether it's on the job or in their personal lives, it can have a generational effect. They might struggle with addiction through generations, but helping them can help future generations. The future generation is top of mind for Eric Doring, who says he's staying sober for his daughter, Riley.
I love her more than anything in this world. Every day is a struggle for me. I fight demons every single day. It's part of life, man. But having people like David to give me the opportunity to have a chance back at life, I don't know where I would be without being in recovery or a sober living house, because I can't do it on my own.
Helping people recover through work and their personal life. One step at a time.
There's a lot of reward in that.
For this week's Coastal Connections in Sussex County, Brendan Conroy, CoastTV News.
The good news is we're going to feel warmer than usual for tonight. The not so great news, we may have to trade off a shower or two late tonight, and especially going into Friday. But for right now, we're a bit on the cloudy side in Lewis, holding at 80 pristine degrees, all right? Winds are pushing out of the north at 9 miles per hour, and we will fall by about 10 degrees as early as 10 o'clock, awaiting for the arrival of the scattered showers that's been really wrecking the folks in the center part of the country. I'm going to show you that in a moment as well, because it's very interesting on what's happening with that storm system. We're at 79 degrees in Redden, Georgetown, 78 currently in Milton, Seaford, as well as Del Mar and Salisbury. The winds right now pushing directly out of the south with gusts up to 22 miles per hour in Millsboro and a 21 mile per hour wind gust recently recorded in Del Mar. The drought monitor update has been given to us, and we're at abnormally dry throughout all of Sussex going into Ocean City. And that's the lowest in which we could record any kind of drought in our area. And that's a big improvement considering we were way up here at one point and now we're on the bottom of that scale. We have chances of rain for tonight going to early Friday, but a more enhanced chance of rain for Sunday going into Monday. And I think we have a better chance of those showers really showing up and showing out Sunday. But for right now, we have gusty and blustery conditions along the coast because of the small craft advisory, highlighting the fact that we're watching out for about 25 mile per hour wind gusts. Generally speaking, across the Delmarva Peninsula, all is quiet for right now. But what's been moving across the central part of the country is this front. Fronts usually move like this. Watch. Look at my arm, okay? It usually moves this way, just straight on through. This front has been stretching like a rubber band and not moving, just pounding the Arkansas, Memphis, and all those areas. I bring that up only because it's delayed the rain that we're talking about and making it hard to kind of predict because it's acting like a rubber band instead of a front. I studied meteorology, not rubber bands, but that's how it happens, right? All right, so mild night on tap with a few storms, still got to call for a chance of showers and a pesky stalled front, and the weekend is going to kind of go bonkers for us. Now, we actually have just a marginal storm risk, okay? Not a major one, but a marginal one. And my models are indicating we'll see some spotty showers, but really holding off until Friday and Saturday for that. And the winds are going to start swirling all over the place. But we are looking for temperatures in the 60s and 70s. So temps are going to be well above the norm, like 68 in Cambridge. And we're looking for a high of about 68 degrees actually in Ocean City. But over the next 5 days, we're going to stay above the norm till we get to Monday and Tuesday. And that's when the bottom falls out of this thing. After this rain pushes through, we're looking for cold conditions to kick in, dropping the temperatures to where it's going to feel like, well, believe it or not, winter. This is the last thing I'm going to show you before I round it out. 81 on Sunday, and look at what we dropped by Wednesday, down to 29. Go grab your real winter coat degrees. Here's a look at your extended forecast.
Paul, the Food Bank of Delaware is holding a food drive tonight after the federal government halted food and shipments and funding earlier this month. The food bank will be holding a drive for people to come drop off any supplies. It's actually just started. President Kathy Kanefsky tells CoastTV providing someone with food is a powerful gesture.
1 in 8 Delawareans is hungry. 1 in 5 is considered food insecure. So we've got an issue here and a problem that we've been working really diligently to try to meet the needs. And within the last couple of weeks, that need got a little bit greater.
That drive goes until 8 in Milford. We'll have much more on CoastTV News at 11.
The Horseshoe Crab and Shorebird Festival, it's been canceled. It is always the Memorial Day Saturday in downtown Milton. The Milton Chamber of Commerce says it's canceling the festivities this year due to logistical challenges and rising costs.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Good evening. Tonight we have boys lacrosse and girls soccer action across the peninsula, starting with Delmar hosting Laurel. Wildcat Abigail Neal breaks free and then beats her defender and puts it 5-hole. Delmar out to a 1-0 lead. Then about 15 minutes later, still the first quarter, it's Neal again outrunning the Bulldogs defense and placing her shot beyond the reach of the goalie. Delmar up 2-0 on Laurel. See who comes out on top tonight on the final score. To boys lax action. Parkside hoping to remain undefeated while visiting Cambridge South Dorchester, and Nathan Pusey hits the back of the net with this shot. Rams up 2-0 in the first. See which squad prevails tonight on DSN. To the NBA, Philadelphia 76ers star guard Tyrese Maxey is out for the season due to a finger tendon injury. Maxey hasn't played since March 3rd, and he is the 4th Sixer to suffer season-ending injuries. To the MLB, the Phillies swept the Rockies, earning a 3-1 victory today. They move to 5-1 on the year and take on the Dodgers tomorrow night. That'll do it for sports. Have a great night.
Taking a look at our Bay Health camera in Milford, we're dropped from the mid-70s down to 72 by 10 o'clock, waiting for those showers to arrive, staying a bit breezy until Friday morning with our small craft advisory along the shore. Listen, Steve Apolito as our umbrella winner. Congratulations. Keep up with your forecast. We're calling our weather line, sponsored by the law offices of Bruxett, Mendelis, and Federico. And finally, here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast.
All right, Paul, thank you. And thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 6.
For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
The NBC Nightly News is up next.
And we're going to see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 11. Have a great evening.